Because we. Yeah, they would. Well, we plug those in, so I can use the agents. I just. So, and then I can take it out. Yeah. I just went straight to the gym. So it's kind of like. So, this perfect day. I don't think. She's ready. It was good. It was. And I was just like, pizza. I didn't want to put the sauce on it. I didn't my cute. I love that. So I just got salad. A couple pictures of the chocolate milk. I go, yeah. How do you know? And then. I'm not going to whatever. But then, okay. Especially me. Right. She listens. You know, she was one. And so, when the trends, what should change? Because it wasn't, you know, I wasn't very hammer away I popped in, I kind of played with them, I played worms. And then you know, kids fast enough pace being used, just like oh, thank you, it was great. Really helped. Yeah. Yeah, see what happens tomorrow. See how it goes. They're all tired. I remember playing We always have to use
They can't afford getting in.
Good evening, everybody. It is 6 o'clock. It's time for us to begin our meeting. The meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is, however, a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda item 3. Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dill.
Here.
Ms. Griffith. Here. Mr. Rudd.
Here.
Mr. Skidmore.
Here.
Dr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Bowman.
Here.
Ms. McLaughlin.
Roman numeral 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Stand together. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next up, presentation of state report card summary.
Thank you. I've been looking forward to this presentation since our report card came in a few months ago. So I'm very excited to present to you this evening a short summary of our report card. So every year, Ohio Department of Education Workforce comes out there with report card measures for every school in the state of Ohio. And today I'm just going to walk you through our state report card. So just as a reminder, the traditional report card is made up of 6 components. Up until this year, the college career workforce and military readiness component was a report-only measure, and this year it is actually part of the entire report card overall rating. So if you notice, achievement and progress is 25% each, and then the other 4 components are 12%. And they calculate all that together to create our overall rating. This is the overall rating scale and descriptions that the state of Ohio uses to assign their star rating. A 3-star is where the state wants everybody to be and above. A 3-star district meets state standards. Valley View's final points earned were 3.595, which is 0.03 of a point from earning a 4.5-star rating. 0.03 of a point. So we ended overall at a 4-star, but just so close to that 4.5-star rating. We're going to get there next year. We increased in every rating, we increased our rating in every component. Valley View now ranks 4th in Montgomery County in overall report card. Oakwood and Centerville ended up with a 5, and Brookville had a 4.5-star rating. So we're 4th in the county. And we're also in the top 47% of districts that earned a rating of 4 stars or higher, which means we exceed state expectations. So that's a lot to be proud of. Oops. Then here's the breakdown of the schools. If you remember, we had Valley View Primary Element, Valley View Primary, and Valley View Intermediate. Last year, we combined under one IRN and created Valley View Elementary School. So that's why we only have 3 different buildings on our report card this year. But you can see that not only did we increase in every district component, we did also see increases at the building levels as well. And it is, we should note that the high school earned a 4.5-star rating and has some 5 stars on there as well. So we're very proud of that. And now we'll just go through each of the components. So achievement measures the student's academic achievement, and it answers the question, at what level are students performing on our assessments? And this is how this is calculated. So you can see 23-24 is over on the right and 24-25 is on the left. You can see that we did increase our performance index by a bit. But how they measure or how they calculate that is they look at the percent of students that that performed at each of those different levels and multiply that by the points for those levels that the state sets, and that's how we get our point received. And then they divide that by the maximum district PI score. So we ended up with an 81.2. Early literacy, we went from a 2-star to a 3-star in this area, and that is composed of proficiency in 3rd grade reading, promotion to 4th grade, and then improving K-3 literacy. So from moving off track to on track. We increased our score by about 4% in this component, which earned us a higher star ranking. And we increased our overall percentage of students that were off track to on track in 1 year by 10%. So we're moving in the right direction for sure. Progress measures the amount of growth made by certain groups of students, and it answers the question, did students make at least 1 year's growth in a year, no matter where they started? And we improved to 4 stars in this component. So I wanted to show 23-24 progress. This is what I showed last year. A lot of red in our math categories and sprinkled in other areas. We want to see light blue or dark blue or green. That shows at least 1 year's growth or exceeding that growth. So you can see the difference from 23-24 to 24-25. So while we do still have a few areas of red, you can see that our students have made growth in those particular subject areas. And then gap closing, we are extremely proud of this rating. We went from 3 stars to 5 stars. So gap closing tells us how our student, the subgroups are performing in relation to the goals that the state sets for that group. And there's 6 of those performance goals. So you've got achievement, growth, proficiency, graduation, chronic absenteeism, and gifted performance. So this is our achievement, and you can see the yellow dots are what the state set that our students as a whole should perform at or above. And we met the performance index for 6 out of 7 of our subgroups. We did not meet it with our students with disabilities, but that's less than 1%. So we'll get there. This is an area of need that we will be working on. So our language arts and math growth. We met 2 of our indicators in growth with our subgroups. So this is an area we've been looking at to make sure that our students are being challenged at an appropriate level. And then we got all of our points for graduation by subgroup. We've been working on increasing our graduation rate of students with disabilities. You can see we're exceeding that indicator in all of those areas. We also had a 5-star rating on the separate graduation component, but it's the same information on another slide. So I thought this was more meaningful to look at. And then our gifted measure, our gifted students are growing academically. We need to increase our achievement in this area by 2% in order to meet that performance index indicator. So we're looking at how to identify and service our students at each building to increase our identification and service percentage. So we're very close to meeting this indicator at 2 of our 3 buildings. And then this is something else we're very proud of. Ohio has made a big push to reduce chronic absenteeism overall. They went from 25.6% to 25.1%, so it is going in the right direction. I don't think as much as they want it to. However, at Valley View, we went from 17.8% to 13.9% in 1 year. And that's a big decrease. So this increase in our attendance has a direct correlation to all of the components on this report card. And our school staff did a wonderful job informing parents and students the importance of showing up every day. And then our college, career, workforce, and military readiness. This component includes making sure that students have one of the following, either a military enlistment, an industry recognized credential, honors diploma, dual enrollment credit, or AP scores of 3 or better for them to be considered prepared for future opportunities. And we increased 13.4% from last year. So we're at 75.7% for last year's, the year before graduation cohort, because we're a year behind. We've already looked at last year's cohort, and we are proud to present that we are 80% from last year. So we already know that we'll have 4 stars in this area again next year, and we've seen some increase. So that's wonderful. And then this is just a chart of our recent progress. You can see from 21-22 to 24-25, we have made steady gains in every one of our areas, and we're very proud of that. Especially the college, career, and workforce. I mean, 21-22, we had 43%, and of last year, 75.7%. So that's a huge increase. These are just a few ways we're continuing our improvement efforts. Obviously, doing what we're already doing, but also making sure that we're monitoring progress on our strategic plan goals, continuing to implement our new curriculum that focuses on the science of reading, new math curriculum. We've got some literacy coaches working with our staff. We have math coach now, K through 12. So that is an addition. And continuing to focus on our multi-tier systems of support and, of course, evidence-based strategies to increase attendance. So in addition to those specific items, we are constantly looking at data and working together to address the needs of our students and advance as one. If you'd like more information, you can go to ODEW's website and type in report card, and then you can type in Valley View. You can see all of the different buildings and dig in deeper. There's lots of information on there, and I'm happy to answer any questions or anything. Kathy will have this up on the website probably in the next few days for anyone to view. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Next on our agenda is presentation of the district compliance with nutrition standards. Eric.
It's more of just a report than a presentation. I've provided all of you with written copies because we got it to you. Basically, it just states that we are staying in compliance with all USDA requirements. We provide healthy, tasty, and wholesome nutrition meals, working around allergies, disabilities, religious observances, and other situations to ensure everyone receives a approved meal. Oh, I didn't write this. Melissa didn't. She wasn't able to be here tonight, so I'm trying to muddle through. Every year we do accumulate debt from the students. We push as hard as we can to get as many of the free and reduced applications out there and get them approved. The kids get, college admission tests free if they get approved there. They get all their school fees waived. They get all the meals free. It's really a good thing if people qualify, and sometimes they're embarrassed to even apply, but they will just apply and try. Hopefully they get approved, and there's a lot of benefits to it. For us to try to keep a better eye on it, we've got the system set up now where you automatically get a text message and an email stating, hey, your child's balance is getting low. And then if you don't act to that, the next day you're probably going to get one that says, hey, your child's balance is now negative. And then monthly we send out negative balances as well. But the girls are working really hard, and I can say girls because it's all the only food service staff we have right now, to make sure that all the salts are right and the sugars are right, everything's in line with where it should be. That's all I got.
Thank you, Eric. Numeral 3C, public participation. Amber Reed. Stand close enough to where you'll be picked up by the microphone.
Hello, give me my name and address here, do you already have it?
I have it, you don't need to.
Okay, perfect. So I have talked to some of you about my concerns, but as a parent, I am deeply concerned that you are not being made aware of serious and ongoing issues within our schools, issues that affect the safety and well-being of our students. As the ultimate decision makers, you must have a clear and honest understanding of what is happening in our schools, especially when it involves threats of violence and bullying. In early September, my son was threatened by another student who told him he was going to bring a Glock 19 to harm him. My son did the right thing. He immediately alerted his teacher. I assured him that that student that made that threat would not be at school the next day. I was wrong. The student admitted to making the threat and remaining in class with my son. This is not an isolated incident. The same student has made multiple threats towards other students in the past. 8 days after the first threat to my son, this student stood behind his chair in class and again issued a threatening statement saying, "You want to go, huh? You want to go? I'm a second degree black belt, and I have 2 pairs of nunchucks at home." I reported this to the principals. Still, no disciplinary action was taken. At this point, it's clearly a pattern of bullying and intimidation. Yet, there's no meaningful response from school leadership. I reached out to most of the principals via phone and email 8 times and made it clear that I was not satisfied with how these instances were being handled. Eventually, I started emailing the superintendent, directly requesting a meeting. My request was denied 4 times. Only after a sit-down meeting with the principals and a teacher was the superintendent going to speak with me. Not every parent has the time or flexibility to pursue a resolution this persistently, nor should they have to. Indigent parents or hourly wage employees are having to choose between buying groceries this month or having multiple meetings with the school before the superintendent is going to meet with them. If this is a policy, a board policy, this needs to be looked at and adjusted. When I finally met the superintendent, I was taken aback by her demeanor. She was curt and dismissive. She questioned my loyalty and love of this district because I questioned the actions taken surrounding one incident. As a superintendent, you should welcome community engagement. I'm a 6th-generation resident of this town and love the community and the school district. For her to say otherwise was very uncalled for and offensive. She cited the whole child approach to justify how discipline was being handled, stating that each situation is different. The whole child approach looks at past trauma and what each student has been through to determine discipline. When 2 students commit the same violation, how can vastly different consequences be justified? Why even have a code of conduct if it's not being followed? I implore you to look into the whole child approach and how our district is using it. Is it being used appropriately, or is it being used to avoid accountability and transparency? What message does it send to our students when one is allowed to repeatedly threaten others, name the exact make and model of a weapon, and yet remain in class without consistent consequences? Every student has the right to feel safe at school. Every parent deserves to trust that when their child is threatened, that threat will be taken seriously. If we allow direct threats to go unpunished or inconsistently punished, we are telling our students that safety and accountability are optional. This is unacceptable. I urge this board to review the situation and take action to ensure the safety of all students. We cannot continue to look the other way. Our students and their safety must come first. Thank you.
Roman numeral number 4, approval of minutes. To approve the regular board meeting minutes for September 8th, 2025. I make a motion to approve those. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Now, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 5, building project update.
So this Friday, we have our 11-month walkthrough. Basically, we're gonna tell them everything that's wrong now, and that covers us through our 12-month warranty period. Beyond the 12 months, they say your 1-year-old baby is yours. So we're hoping to make sure we have everything included in that list. Take a 6-hour long walk on Friday to point everything out.
Roman numeral 6A, recommend the board approve the financial statements for the month ending September 30th, 2025. They're attachment number 2. I make a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffith?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 6B, financial forecast presentation. Valerie.
Just a moment. Two presentations tonight, and don't have them very often. So this is the financial forecast. You'll notice that we are, or you may not notice, we're having it a month early this year. What I want to talk to you about is just the basic topics of the financial forecast, the changes that House Bill 96 made, which is why we're having it a month early this year. Review our 2026 position, review some of the forecast elements in detail, changes from the May presentation that I gave to currently now. And then talk about the risks to the forecast. There are some citizen actions that has some unknowns into this forecast, as well as any General Assembly actions that might be happening, and then we'll wrap it up. So this is the same chart that I presented last year. It is incorporating the House Bill 96 changes to it. You'll notice that it used to be called the 5-year forecast. Well, now it is called just the financial forecast is what we've kind of landed on. However, Valley View's process is the same. We start with the budget manager input for their budget, then we build up for the general fund, then we build up to the certificate of estimated resources and the appropriations certificate, and then we include our history, those documents, and then we extend it out for 10 years. We here we go. House Bill 96 changes. This is no longer called the 5-year forecast. This is called the financial forecast. You guys can see that. So, what has changed? We will now have, it used to be the 5-year forecast was due in November and in May. The November forecast focused on changes that were made, all the hires have been made, the budgets have been settled, and it was a report on what had happened since the last May forecast. And then we had one in May. Now we backed everything up 3 months. So this year is the only year that we'll do it in October. From this year forward, we'll be doing it in August. And again, we'll take a look at our budget, looking at how we think that the year is going to end. Then we'll do it again in February, and we'll measure against how we are doing against that budget and what we think things are going to look like. And then we'll meet again in August and approve it. You guys see that, Grandmother?
Yeah,
Oh, good, you're not. Okay.
but yeah, we can see it in the corner.
It's covering up my notes. So this is the forecast. This is the same chart that we presented last year in May. It shows our revenues and our expenses, and it plots the line of the days days cash on hand. We have our 25, 23, 24, and 25. 26 which is where we are. We're right in the center. And then our forecast of, I put 4 months in, or 4 years in. The 4 or 5 year forecast only includes 3 future years. The Government Finance Officer Association recommends that school districts maintain 60 days cash on hand. We have just come in just slightly under that last year, and we're looking to come in slightly under that this year. However, our 10-year forecast shows us going into a negative balance in the year 2029. So while we want to, it's not time to panic, but it's certainly time to be watching what happens with our finances. Now, the difference, what I do have in our forecast in fiscal year 26 are our cost reduction measures that we have in place for 2026. The forecast does not assume any cost reductions in 2027 and the future. So as we develop those, as we come across those, we will incorporate those into the February forecast when we know them. Comparing how we ended up 25 to how we're projecting 26 on our revenues to be projected. In this forecast projects our property taxes to remain flat. We do not have a big property revaluation happening again in Montgomery County. That should be flat. Income tax We have a very modest increase that we're proposing, that we're recommending, or that we think is gonna happen. However, our state funding is going down. And we talked about that in May, that was going to happen because we had this huge property revaluation that's gonna roll through for the next 3 years. Continue, our local capacity is going to go up and our state funding is going to go down. And then a reduction in our other income, primarily in interest income. As we are using more cash, there'll be less cash available to earn interest on, as well as the pressures to lower interest rates. We would expect lower income or interest. Now, looking at our expenses, the first column is by book, what our expenses came in 2025. The second column is we had that big transfer of funds. So the middle column does not include our transfer of funds. So when we compare expenses from fiscal 25 without the transfer to fiscal 26, our costs have increased 2.8%. And that incorporates some significant cost changes since May of 2025. We have our CBA agreement that we settled in June rather. Those cost impacts are included in that, as well as we finalized our ESC contract, which is a major cost driver. What we've also incorporated into this is a change in transportation. We've had an opportunity with the ESC regarding transportation that we have taken advantage of and have experienced a cost savings. We want to take a look at some of the significant elements of the forecast. We'll look at property tax first. This is the most significant area of risk in our forecast. Notice this is a chart from our 23, 24, how we ended 25, and what we expect to happen 26 through 30. If you remember from last May, we talked about we hit the 20 mil floor. We were placed on the 20 mil floor. So that gave us a bump from 24 to 25. The 20 mil floor and the calculations of it are one of the proposals and one of the things that the General Assembly is currently trying to hash out and how to continue for the future. We look at the local capacity. I mentioned that our state aid, our state foundation is going down because of our local capacity. Let's talk about that for just a moment, just to refresh everybody's memory. The basic formula for state funding is cost to educate a student in our area minus our local capacity. Our local capacity is what the state calculates that we, Valley View, are able to contribute to the education of our children. And how it does that is it weights it. It takes 60% of property, and that's even a weighted average, I have a 3-year average, to 40% of the median income, another weighted average of 3 years. So you got your cost to educate a student, less your local capacity, and that's what the state says, this is how much the state will fund you per student. It's on a per student basis. Now, one of the things that's happening in the formula as well is the cost to educate a student, they are basing that on fiscal year 22 costs, but the local capacity has been updated to fiscal year 25. So we've got a little bit of an apple-orange situation happening there, but that is currently how the formula is working. So as our local capacity goes up, the cost to educate a student stays the same, so the state portion will go down. So that's why that chart, this is what happens in this chart. Showing this is what our actual property revenue has been collected and our just the base cost of our state portion. There are some adders based upon economic disadvantagement, some transportation, some preschool things. I've stripped that out and we're just looking at base cost. So what we're noticing pretty abundantly is that the property tax portion of what's happening here is getting larger. The state portion is growing smaller. I'm forecasting, based upon this model, that the local capacity in 2027 will be 65%. In 2025, it was 55%. That is a difference of $740 per student. And when you extrapolate that out by the number of students, it's nearly $1.2 million. With less state aid, and our property tax payers are paying into that. But in overall, between base funding and property revenue, we're only seeing a $300,000 decrease between 2024 and 2030. Educated student. I bring this up because I want to make sure that everybody understands, we, the district, understand how much the property taxpayers pay into this district and what their expectations are of this district. And let them know we are taking this seriously and we are getting results. In 2024, we were a 3.5-star district. In 2025, we were a 4-star district. Just missing that 4.5-star by 3/100ths of a point. So we are anticipating next year being a 4.5-star district, and our administrators have their eyes on a 5-star district in years in the future. We understand everybody is making sacrifices for our students. The income tax is the next element I wanted to mention. In this forecast is including just a slow and modest gain in the income tax. It accounts for nearly 25% of our general fund revenue. It is a significant portion of our funding. Let's talk about our cost reductions briefly. What we have in here, what we baked in based upon our discussion in May is, oh, that really shows up there. I'm sorry, can't get that off. Our certified, we did reduce some certified positions via attrition. And then we are able to utilize our staff much better, sharing the talent. We have teachers teaching in the high school and in the middle school. We have teachers teaching in the elementary school and the middle school based upon their certifications. So we are really trying to utilize our resources and our talents as best as we can. We have reduced 2 bus routes from 2025, and there has been no decrease in service. We've also brought our Valley View van drivers back in-house, and I mentioned that we are taking advantage of an ESC transportation program, a partnership. We're currently evaluating every opportunity we can for those 2027 cost reductions. The risks to the financial forecast deal with property tax. In, I think it was June or July, the governor issued 67 vetoes against House Bill 96. Of those, the legislators have overridden one of those. That particular one reduced the kinds of levies that school districts can levy. That does not have a direct impact on Valley View immediately, but it does take some of the tools out of the tool chest when the time might come. The state legislature is indicating that they are looking at overriding 2 other vetoes, one of which could have an immediate impact on Valley View in expanding authority to county budget commissions. This is not just rhetoric. Just today I received notice that one county commission has done that to a district. So it can and it will happen. The other veto override that they're considering is changing how the 20 mil floor is calculated and the values that go into that. That would have an immediate and direct impact on Valley View as well. Now, we might wonder how can the legislators do that to us? We're the school district, and this is the only way we can operate. We're charged with taking care of our children. The legislatures are facing a lot of pressure. There is a citizens action group that is lobbying, trying to get a ballot initiative on the ballot. They didn't make this November, but they're promising to come back in November to abolish property tax altogether. So our state legislatures are really trying to do the best that they can. And we will see some significant change out of this General Assembly, I'm certain. Other taxes or other House bills that are being considered are House Bill 186. That has to do with the 20 mil floor and capping the rise in that to inflationary. That again, we are a 20 mil district, a 20 mil floor district, and that would have an immediate impact on Valley View. House Bill 129 is similar to the veto item number 65 that they're talking about overriding. That doesn't have an immediate impact on Valley View, but House Bill 309 and 335 certainly do. 335 looks at limiting inside millage, the Budget Commission limiting inside millage. So all of these could have an impact on Valley View significant. So our best mode of operation at the moment is to watch and be informed and be able to react when things happen. Again, reiterating, we understand our community and the great sacrifice they make to us in their property taxes. And we are committed to providing our students with a quality education. Along with this, we are committed to looking at cost-saving opportunities, and we continue to watch for legislative actions and make reactions to those. So thank you. I'm happy to take any questions at the moment. If anybody has anything, that was a lot. I'm sorry, but thank you for your time.
So, yeah, just I don't know if this question, maybe just a conversation starter for a different day. But, obviously, you're in the unenviable position of trying to steer ship through, uncharted waters with the currents changing all the time. Right?
Yes.
So there are a number of potentialities. When we're looking at our cost-saving opportunities, are there any assumptions that underlie, like how do we approach this? Like, so are we approaching this just with the assumption that every negative thing in terms of our bottom line is going to happen? Are we, I'm sure the answer is no to this one. Are we assuming everything's going to go our way and none of this is going to happen? Or are we trying to find a balance there?
In my forecasting, I'm saying things are kind of status quo. Usually when you're on your 24 mil district, you're going to say, we're set. I'm not saying that. I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. I'm very modest gains and only in revaluation years. And even in a revaluation year, I'm saying 3%. The income tax, I'm still a very steady monitoring. We get our income tax collections every quarter, and I'm looking at that every quarter, measuring it to last quarter, seeing if we have any changes there, and reacting to that. Again, very, very modest incomes, 1%, 2% increases. So I believe our forecast is very conservative, and on the cost saving side of things, I think everything's on the table unless there are legal ramifications to it. Just looking at more creative ways to utilize our resources that we have is what we're trying to do now. Can we do more with less? Do we need this? What are our legal obligations? Those are the kinds of things that we're looking at. We want to preserve what happens in the classroom as much as possible. But it's difficult.
So just to follow up on that, obviously, whatever the situation, whether you're dealing with a budget, whether you're dealing with anything in life, there are those things that you can control and those things that you can't control, right? And so much of this is stuff that we can't control.
Absolutely.
And so to the extent that you identify things that can be controlled, I just ask that you should try to get those to us as quick, as early as possible.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't be on the way too early front end of trying to navigate this rather than on the back end. And I know you're there too, but just
Yes.
don't worry about putting more gray hairs on our head, like it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when, so we might as well just go ahead and address these.
So I'm looking, I get a thread every morning about, just in the treasurer's world, but also that comes with that is the advocacy. We are kept abreast of the various House bills that could affect us. And the lobbying groups are doing a really great job in informing us of what is happening, what is gaining traction, what is not. So there's a lot happening. It's a time where we don't have a lot of control. So just watching and waiting and keeping our ear to the ground to see what might grow some legs is the challenge.
Thank you for your work on that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Do you ever do a public presentation of this? Because I have half a dozen questions I'd like to ask you when we went through it. Obviously, this isn't the place to do it. Do you ever do a public presentation?
I have not.
I was gonna say you just did. But
Oh, we can't.
yeah, there's no interaction Q&A.
I'm happy to, I think typically how things have been done is if you have questions, contact me. And if there's enough questions, we'll put out a frequently asked question because I don't know the questions you might have. I try to answer them all, but I know that I don't. So
Well, just for the clarity of certain things. And do we have a plan if this property tax is abolished?
no,
Yeah. What are the states?
nobody
They
does.
don't-
Yeah, there's nobody has a.
Yeah, there are four states right now, Indiana, Texas, Ohio, and I forget who the other one is, who are toying with the idea of getting rid of property tax. And it's one of those things where, one, I like the idea of asking questions, right? And so like, if you have questions, ask, have ideas. Like, we don't presume to be, the smartest people in like the brain trust here, right? But we are the people here who have to help her make decisions. And there are people in this community who have good ideas, who have questions that could spark, conversations and thought processes. We have a very, very deep and capable community here at solving problems. And so, I view the community as much of a tool as the people who actually work in the district. So, take Valerie up on that if you have questions, shoot them off.
One thing I'd like to add to that too, I think, and I know the word transparency is overused, but in an instance like this where families are already really, pinching pennies to try to make it through, and then we have these concerns that may be coming up, is there a possibility that we can be transparent as a district and say, these are some things that we have done as a cost savings, and maybe have some type of a regularly posted update so that the community can see these are things that we've worked on. And I understand there's certain legal ramifications for what we can and can't disclose, but things that we're legally able to disclose to say, these are some cost reducing efforts that we've made and are continuing to make. And then frequently questions, somebody may come up with an idea in the community and we know by law we can't do that, and then we are able to educate them that. I know it would require someone to monitor the questions coming in and to make those postings, but I feel like in order to continue to gain trust with the community, we need to be very transparent in what are our efforts, what have we been able to do, what aren't we able to do. Can we turn the temperature down by 1 degree in the entire building? And if so, if we're able to do that, are the kids uncomfortable? How much money does that save? Does that cause harm to, I don't know, the window seals? I don't know, those types of things. I feel like the more transparent we can be with the community, the more trust we gain and we work together as a community. So, those are my thoughts.
Yes.
Having to review this every 6 months is also very helpful because you're always on top of things.
Well, and to answer your question about what if there's no property tax, right? If there's no property tax, well, I can tell you this, one thing I've learned, school's not free, right? It costs money, buildings cost money, stuff costs money. So I mean, what are our options, right? Well, if there's no property tax, well then whatever the state decides, they'll return to us because we get less back than what we put in as a community. That's just the reality, and that's just what happens in Columbus. But we'll have that, whatever that is, which is a giant question mark. And so what's our other option? Our other option, if we're being frank about it, is income tax. That's our other option, or bake sales, right? One of the two. And so, we have no idea of controlling the things we can control, but when contingencies arise that we have to do something, what darn well better have happened before we have to present our case to anybody in this community to say, hey, listen, we're gonna have to ask something more of you, or something different of you. It might not be more, maybe what comes from an individual on an income tax is less than what they were gonna pay on their property tax. I don't know. It might be more, it might be less, it will be different if that ever happens, but we darn well better be able to say, this is what we did to try to forestall having to come asking for this. And if we don't take that seriously now, then that ask, should it ever come up in the future, is gonna be a really, really bad ask to make. And so I think, hopefully you understand that everybody here takes this very seriously. And so I don't envy you, but that's why we hired you, because you're really good at this.
Great. Thanks so much.
All right, Roman numeral 6C, recommend the board approve the financial forecast with notes and assumptions. Would someone like to make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, you did a very good job. Please call the roll.
Yes, and that was Tyson and Mr. Skidmore, right?
Yes.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 60, recommend the board approve a grant awarded by the Martha Holden Jennings Foundation to Joe Weaver under the Jennings Grants to Educators Program in the amount of $3,000. I make a motion that we approve that. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 60, recommend the board approve a donation from Valley View Music Boosters, Inc. in the amount of $1,794 for a cooler in the high school concessions area. Will someone make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Let's say thank you to the music boosters. You guys do a great job. Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
And Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 6F, recommend the board approve a donation from the Valley View Jet in the amount of $4,000 for the purpose of installing disc golf holes on the main district campus within the Jet. I make a motion that we approve that. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 6G, recommend the board approve the then and now certifications for Simco via PNC and Sports Supply Group. The amounts of those are $4,992.30 and $5,736.50. Would someone make a motion that we approve those? Do we have a second? Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
And Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 7A, personnel. I make a motion that we approve the personnel action as recommended, attachment number 3 in your packets. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
And Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 7B, recommend the board approve the course of study for newly developed courses. We have copies of those for the 2025-2026 school year. Andrew, could you just give a quick explanation to people of what we're doing when we do that, so people know why we're approving courses?
You bet. Each year we go through a process in November where we debate what courses are necessary for our students to have and what course offerings we want for the following school year. When we do those course offerings, we work with our teachers, we work with student surveys, we look at industry and what is needed for careers, what is needed for college, and we come up with courses for the following year. After we come up with those courses, our teachers work with our curriculum director, Nicole, and they develop a course of study for each course. Board policy requires that the board approve those courses of study for each course. So that is an outline of what the teachers are going to teach the students, the materials that are used, and the textbook that is involved.
Will someone make a motion that we approve the courses of study in your packet?
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? Valerie, would you call roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin.
Yes.
Mr. Rudd.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore. Yes. Dr. Smith.
Yes.
Roman numeral 7C, recommend the board approve the Valley View boys tennis team trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina over spring break, March 29th to April 4th, 2026. I make a motion to approve that. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, is that at the student's cost?
Well, let's see, so yes, this is us approving the trip. This isn't us approving,
Okay,
us.
okay.
That's correct. Did we get a motion in a second?
Yes.
And that was our discussion. All right, Valerie, should we go?
Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Rudd.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore. Yes. And Dr. Smith.
Yes.
Roman numeral 7D, recommend the board approve the memorandum of understanding between Valley View Local School District Board of Education and German Township Police Department for 2 school resource officers starting 2026-2027 school year. I make a motion to approve that. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Just very grateful for the relationship the German Township Police Department has, and I think there's a really good rapport that's been developed between them and the district, and so I'm grateful for that. Valerie, would you call roll?
Yes, Mr. Dillon.
Yes.
Ms. Griffin. Yes. Mr. Rudd.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore. Yes. And Dr. Smith.
Yes.
Roman numeral 7E, recommend the board approve the resolution selecting Oregon Group Architects, Inc. as design professional and authorizing design services agreement for the board office and baseball, softball field renovation project. Will someone make a motion to that effect? So, do we have a second? I will second it. Any discussion?
Yeah, just, if somebody could explain a little bit about what that would entail.
Valerie, is that you or is that Eric?
It's gonna be, Eric and I tagged him in.
Okay, all right.
We have, Oregon Group, we put out a request for qualifications, to have some help in maximizing, utilizing the space here at the administration building. And we pulled in a project at the baseball field as well as the softball field to design the project for us, so that we're providing construction documents.
And what are the projects, the baseball and softball field, what do those consist of?
So the baseball field is an extension of the dugout. It was started without paperwork, and someone found out about it, so we had to stop. And now we're getting called back up to get that completed the way the guys wanted it. The softball project is to build them a press box equal to the baseball fields that they got built.
Okay. And then with regard to this building for a board office, when is the plan moved from the board office from where it is?
We do not have a plan.
We don't have a date yet.
We don't have a date. We're talking about by next school year.
Okay. Because you'll have to realize that where we currently are is in a level of disrepair that I'm a little uncomfortable with. And I will tell you that where I come and sit when I wait for my agenda meetings, I'm not always certain that I'm not going to fall through the floor. And that's, I'm not even kidding. Yeah, and so, and I'm very much looking forward to having our board offices in this building and being done with that building. Any other comments, questions?
Was it a projected cost in the resolution, yes. It's not to exceed, I think, 89,000 or 86,000, 87. And that's for both projects? All three. All three, okay. Package.
I'm gonna assume that was the most competitive
It was the only.
deal. Okay.
All right, Valerie, shall I roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin? Yes. Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore? Yes. Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 7F, recommend the board approve memorandum of understanding between the Board of Education, Valley View Local School, the Valley View Local School District, and the Valley View Teachers Association for a stipend for teachers who taught a new CCP course in the 2023-2024 school year. The stipend is required by OEW. And so, so we're voting on whether or not we're going to comply with what we have.
Yes.
Okay. So we're clear. I make a motion to that effect. Do we have a second? Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 7G, the same issue, just in relation to teachers who taught a CCP course in the 2024-2025 school year. Once again, this is a stipend that we're required to approve. And so I make a motion, we do. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 7H. I recommend the board approve a memorandum of understanding, amendment to addendum C of the VDTA master agreement between Valley View Teachers Association, Valley View Local School District Board of Education. Board copies are enclosed. Would you, Valerie, just give a quick description of so that people understand what it is we're doing here?
This is a quick approval of a memorandum of understanding to resolve a disagreement in the labor contract.
I make a motion to approve it. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 7I, recommend the board approve a memorandum of understanding regarding supplemental between the Valley View Local School District Board of Education and Valley View Teachers Association. Would someone like to make a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin?
Yes.
Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
And Roman numeral 7J, personnel, we have attachment number 4, one straggler here for the elementary cooking club, extra duty contract. I make a motion to approve that. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Valerie, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Dillon?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin? Yes. Mr. Rudd?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Roman numeral 8, superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Rudd. I'd like to thank our students' families, all staff members, and board support of our day-to-day operations with regards to being able to achieve what we were this past year with our district report card. That definitely takes a village, and we certainly appreciate the support amongst this table as well as our families in the district. We have had a soft opening with our Spartan Library on the other side of this wall. The public library has taken over our old high school library, and they have a great selection of books and 2 librarians who are working with our students in K-12 on daily from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Our students now will have access to over 8 million books through the Ohio Digital Library Lending, whereby those librarians will deliver books to our students at the K-12, as well as entertain students to come down and learn how to utilize the library. And lastly, I want to thank everybody who put forth the effort for our Spartan Guardian program that has started at our elementary school to bring dads, uncles, grandparents, and a variety of men from the community in to act as mentors to our students in the elementary school.
Thank you. Roman numeral 9, board member comments. Let's start all the way down on the end here.
I'd just like to show appreciation for the disc golf courses. I know that's going to make a lot of students happy.
Thanks.
So I wanted to piggyback off of Ms. Cook's announcement about Spartan Guardians. I got to be the Spartan Guardian today, and it was really mind-blowing to see the reaction from the students. They really connected really quickly in a way that I didn't really expect. So it was very moving. Principal Schmidt did a great job putting this all together. Today I was with Mrs. Harshberger, Mrs. Reed, Mrs. Dixon, Mrs. Lewis, Mrs. Boyd, Mrs. Morris, and then Mrs. Purvis. I got assigned little educational tasks that I would have never got to experience. So it was really moving for me to be a part of that and to really get a feel for what our staff does for our children, and it was pretty powerful. Also being there, I got to see the every day lunchtime volunteers. So I want a big thank you to them. It's not because of this program that they're here. They're here just to help, and it was really neat to see them all working just as a general duty in life, and it was pretty neat to see. So that's all I have.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see our scores go up. I know there's a lot of work that goes into achieving those 4 stars, so super excited about that. Would love to see that early literacy bump up a little bit, especially K-3, and I think that takes a whole community, not just the school. It can't just all be on the school. We really, really need to be reading to our kids and grandkids, neighbors' kids, reading in the park to anybody who wants to come and listen. We need to be reading to our kids. I also want to really give a shout out to the junior Spartan football players and cheerleaders. They really rallied up, had a little local competition between the grades to raise some food or have a food drive for Sunshine in the Bag. So that is a program, if you're not familiar with it, it's a program that is in place to help kids who need extra food to get them through the weekend. These are Valley View students, and they're the ones that benefit from it. And it's usually from August through May, and they get food delivered to them twice a month in 2-week intervals. It's very much an expensive endeavor, and it goes in fits and spurts as far as who's donating to it. So right now, it's really, really needing some significant support financially. So if you haven't thought about supporting, you can consider supporting. It's the cost now is somewhere close to about $40,000 to run it for the 8-9 month year program they offer. But anyways, the junior Spartans came in big. I was super excited for that, and they say that they want to do this hopefully perpetually in the future. So super excited about that.
We're going to go
I
back.
wanted to jump back. I forgot about the Farmersville folks. We've got some good dates. We've got the request for the proposals, finalized proposals. They'll be made available to bidders by October 17th. There will be site walks in the pre-bid meetings by October 24th. Then the notice of award to the chosen contractor by November 10th, and then the mobilization of the contractor by November 24th. So in the next 6 weeks or so, hopefully we see visible changes out at the site. Okay.
Okay, so I just want to speak to, everybody else has covered the other things I wanted to talk about. I want to speak to the question about in-school issues with regard to discipline, with regard to threats, with regard to bullying, et cetera. So, it has been a pretty constant refrain that I've heard in the community that bullying is a problem. Bullying is a problem. I hear that, and there are really a couple things that come to mind. First thing that comes to mind is, well, first of all, we need to be able to identify what is bullying, what constitutes bullying, and what isn't bullying. Right? Sometimes kids just aren't going to get along, sometimes they're not going to like each other. Bullying has to be something, but we need to be able to understand what we're looking at when we see it. Obviously, threats, we don't really have to have that conversation, right? Threats and bullying are 2 completely different things. I don't see a power dynamic structure there. A threat is a threat. And so when I hear this come up, and when I hear you come speak, what my thought is that it really is up to the board to set the tone. And setting the tone can go one of 2 ways. We can either be draconian and say, this is the code that we're going to follow, and that takes the discretion away from the administrators, or we can go the other direction and say, well, you have discretion, but at the same time, we want them to have guidance too. And so I don't recall, at least since I've been on the board, which will now be 4 years, I don't recall a board level analysis or consideration of what kind of tone are we going to set. And so when I hear what you have to say, we have to make sure that when there are issues that arise that come to the attention of an administrator, threats have to be taken seriously. And we need to make sure that we set the tone that they will be. But one of the ways that we need to do that is to make sure that our administrators understand that we're going to have to back them. Right? This isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all. This can't be a one-size-fits-all situation. 2 kids get into a fight. We can't just say, well, a fight's a fight. This is your punishment. You both get the same thing. Right? Like even in hockey, you get 2 minutes for executing. There's this understanding that we have people that are able to observe what is really happening here, and we just need to make sure that as a board, that we have made clear, this is how we really expect things to be handled. This is the level of priority this needs to be, and the fact that we haven't really talked about it in 4 years, makes me a little ashamed that I haven't made it a priority earlier. It should take something more than a physical threat for that to become a priority, so I apologize for that. But we need to help set the tone. I think it needs to happen at the board level. And so I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what the timetable for that is. But just understand that when you come in here and share your story, it is something that needs to be taken seriously. And so I don't want to put our administration at the disadvantage of not having the type of guidance from the board that they're entitled to. So we'll work on that.
Again, most everything's been covered, but I do want to congratulate the staff, the students, and the parents on the report card. That was fantastic. I brought this up in the past, but she just keeps making every agenda. But Jill Weaver, again, is doing a fantastic job. It seems every month we're either approving a new program or a new activity she's running or a grant that she's receiving. So that's a fantastic job by her.
So everybody kind of took my topic, so I'm actually gonna focus on the bullying topic instead, so,
Sorry.
always still my topic. But I do wanna say thank you to, all the staff, administration, and everyone alike for working hard to making sure that academics are moving in the right direction. That is one of the main reasons I decided to join the board, is because I felt like we were definitely lacking there. So I'm excited to see where we're going in the future, and, you know, that we're gonna keep moving in the right direction.
All right. Ms. Strong?
I just want to send a congratulations to all the fall sports as they continue to wrap up their seasons. And good luck as they advance into tournaments. I know girls soccer has a game Thursday. It's home, and it'll most likely be our last home game. So you guys should definitely come out and support us. The fall play, tickets aren't on sale yet, but when they are, you should buy some tickets and see that show. That's it.
Thank you. All right, next agenda item is to adjourn. I make a motion to do that. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Valerie, call roll.
Yes, Mr. Dillon,
Yes.
Ms. Griffin,
Yes.
Mr. Rudd,
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore,
Yes.
Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone.